Hi comrades, yours Kayveeyes. There is a little bit delay in explaining this important unified pension scheme. Due to some health condition, I could not concentrate in recording the audios. Kindly bear with me. The Government of India has issued a Gazette notification for the implementation of Unified Pension Scheme which affects from 1st April 2025. The scheme is not a new one. This is also not at par with the old pension scheme. This is one of the scheme built inside the national pension scheme. First of all, we should understand it is under the national pension scheme and not a separate scheme. In the entire Gazette notification, the pension has not been identified as pension. It is called as a payout. Now let us discuss about the important crux of the Gazette notification. For the existing NPS subscriber, if they are ready to switch over, they will be covered under the National Pension Scheme as of March 31, 2025, can opt for the Unified Pension Scheme. For all the new recruits joining after on April 1st, 2025, and if they have completed 10 years of qualifying service, will be covered under the UPS. The employees who have already retired from NPS, National Pension Scheme, before 31 2025 and spouse also eligible for the payout under the Unified Pension Scheme. Payout, it is a coinage of word that meant for the pension. Perhaps there may be so many hidden agenda in terming this for the payout that will be made known to us later stage only. In case of voluntary retirement, on completion of minimum qualifying service of 25 years, it will be granted. They will be considered only from the date of their superannuation, even though they have offered the voluntary retirement and quit the department after completion of 25 years. They have to remit the 10% amount till the date of their superannuation. Thereafter only they will be considered under the payout system under the Unified Pension Scheme. In case of removal or dismissal, they are not eligible for the UPS scheme. Even for the resignation, it will not apply. If the officials goes on voluntary retirement, this Unified Pension Scheme may be applied on the date of their original superannuation date. But in case of resignation, it will not be considered and they are not eligible for the Unified Pension Scheme. Actually, the official has to give option either to switch UPS or remain on the NPS. Once they have given option, it cannot be reversed. Timeline for opting will also be specified by the government very shortly. Now let us discuss about the contribution and corpus management. The individual contribution will be 10% monthly emoluments from the employees, that is pay and DA. The equal amount will be credited to the individual corpus by the government. The government, apart from the 10%, it shall provide 8.5% of all the employees opted to UPS to pool the corpus fund. This is to support for assured payout. If an official is not eligible for the minimum pension, this amount will be substituted and they will become eligible for the family payout as well as personal payout. The benchmark corpus, it has been introduced. A target of corpus defined by the PFRDA calculated based on the assumed regular contribution, that is both the employer and the employee, default investment pattern and no withdrawals. It serves as a threshold for assured payout. For payment of minimum payout, a benchmark corpus will be created in which amount will be pooled separately. Subscribers whose individual corpus is less than the benchmark, it can be replenished as the shortfall through the additional contributions before the retirement. What will be the shortfall amount and whether it has to be paid, these are all $1 million questions. This will be made known after getting the clear clarification on this topic. The impact of shortfall. If the shortfall is not replenished, the assured payout is reduced proportionately. Actually, if there is any shortfall, that should be made good by the concerned employee. If not, the payout will be reduced proportionately. No further contributions post-retirement. After the pay and accounts officer records the corpus at retirement, no further contributions are made to the individual UPS account. This is the method of subscription. Now let us discuss about the investment option and pension fund. The pension fund choice that is left with the subscribers. They can choose from the PFRDA registered pension funds with a default option. They can switch over once in a year. What type of patterns available for the investment? 100% in government security scheme G. Life cycle based schemes. Conservative maximum 25% of equity. Moderate maximum 50% of equity. Pension funds must provide clear information about the past performance to aid the subscriber decision making. So every year a document will be released by the PFRDA about the past performance of the investment companies. Now let us discuss about the assured payout calculation and modalities. So for the formula is concerned, that is the formula for the assured payout. That is 50% of the average of last 12 months basic pay into qualifying service factor. Full payout after completion of 25 years of qualifying service. What is the minimum guaranteed payout? It will be rupees 10,000 subject to the conditions, the question of replenishment and other things. After completion of 10 years qualifying service, a minimum will be granted 10,000 rupees as guaranteed payout. The qualifying service factor that will be determined by the length of service of an official who opted for the UPS. What is payout adjustment? It will be reduced proportionately for any withdrawals made under the NPS at this time. Payout management. What is the payout management? The pension fund executes payouts based on the instructions from the Central Record Keeping Agency, that is CRCA. Family payout at the rate of 60% of the payout is admissible. This was not available under the new pension scheme. Now family can also get 60% of the payout after the demise of the pensioner. The dearness relief will be available for payout and also the family payout. This is a very good feature. DA will be given for the payout. That means pension, that is the payout, and also the family pension. The DA relief will be continuously granted whenever the government employees are getting the dearness allowance rise. A lump sum payment at the rate of 10% of the basic plus DA for every completed 6 months of qualified service. That means 20% per year. That lump sum payment will not affect the quantum of assured payout. This may be in lieu of commutation of pension. If an employee is putting 30 years of service, he will be getting 6 times of the basic and DA at the time of his retirement. How the process will be made? The head office should ensure timely submission of claim forms 6 months before the retirement and forward the document to the pay and accounts officer. What are all the required documents? The claim form, spouse details in Form D, Kayveeyes document, PAN, bank details, specimen signature, etc. The pay and accounts officer should keep the records of the total corpus, compare it with the benchmark, and manage the payouts. What is the intermediary obligations? Maintain good governance, corporate governance, not government, corporate governance, and avoid fraudulent practices, ensure data continuity, and backup, comply with PFRDA directives. These are all the main crux of the Gazette notification as well as the orders issued subsequently. One thing we should make it very clear. There are some positive features. The DA is eligible for the payout and family payout. This option was not available in the National Pension Scheme. And all the previous, after the introduction of the new pension scheme, they were entitled for the minimum family payout. And whatever be the benefit they are entitled, that is going to be given with DA, as well as the arrears will also be paid to them, in which the shortfall any required, that will be replenished. So, the NPS entities who were retired after 2014, because 10 years minimum is required, the scheme was introduced in 2004, and after completion of 10 years, the NPS entities, they will be getting the minimum pension, which they are not getting. in particular in the postal department. Most of the GDS were getting the postman and MTS promotion at the time of crossing 50 years. And many of them, as on date, retired after 2014, they are getting a minimum of 1200 to 2000 rupees as the annuity. But under this scheme, they will be getting the minimum pension with also the arrears minus the amount to be remitted to the government. They will get a minimum of 10,000 rupees every month. This is a welcoming one. Earlier in the national pension scheme, there is no family pension. Now it will be given under the unified pension scheme. Past retirees will get arrears after deducting the top-up amount under the PFRDA fixed rates that is not yet released so far. And also lump sum of 20% pay for 1 year service, that is also going to be given to the officials. So for the adverse effect, it will affect the voluntary retirement. They can get the unified pension after reaching the date of their original superannuation. Till then they have to wait, and also they have to remit their contribution to the government. That is not a good factor. There is no clarity in the Gazette notification about the top-up to be paid by the employee in case of benchmark corpus is not accumulated. In such cases, we are expecting the clarification from the Ministry of Finance. Getting assurance to revise the amount after every pay commission, that has not been mentioned here because they are simply saying it as a payout. It is a common apprehension whether this will be discussed in the pay commissions. Suppose 8th pay commission is formed, whether the 8th pay commission will discuss about this and also given some improvements on this unified pension scheme. Because the minimum pension was mentioned here as 10,000 rupees. Whereas the minimum pension under the CCS, CCA pension rules, it will be 9,000 per plus DA. So, the changes should also be subjected to the pay commission, for which it is very silent, and this should be taken care by the JCM staff side. We should get the assurance from the government that whenever the pay commission form, this should also be reviewed by this, and whatever be the changes required, that should be carried out in the future also. Actually, the persons who have retired between 2014 to 2024, they will be much benefited. Really, this is a very good one. They will be much benefited. They can opt only for the UPS. Comrades, one thing I want to say, this is definitely better than the National Pension Scheme on various issues, as we have discussed earlier. Even though this is within the NPS, within the National Pension Scheme, the UPS is maintained. At one stage, naturally, the government has to bend upon to the demand of the restoration of old pension scheme. It is definitely better than the national pension scheme, but it cannot be equated with the original demand of old pension scheme. That is our aim. At the same time, we can make improvement in the existing UPS scheme by having a detailed dialogue and discussion with the government. This is my request to the JCM staff side. They can definitely discuss and get improvement in the papers. Some comrades, they are in the idea that we can continue in the NPS. I am telling you, those who are retiring within 20 years, they need not opt for the NPS. They can switch over to the UPS, that will be the better. And also, some NPS entities, they may be thinking their corpus amount will be very higher at the time of the retirement, like this you may think. But at that time, the money value will also be gone down. And simultaneously, this amount also be proportionately increased. It will not be static as if they have stated. It will also be increased simultaneously. After 20 years, there may be so many changes which may take place. There is a possibility. We cannot say about the future. According to me, the UPS is definitely better than the NPS. Before giving option, please work out individually what will be your savings, what will be your corpus, general corpus, and also your personal corpus, and thereafter you can opt. But one thing I can say, those who are having 20 years of service under the NPS, they can definitely choose the UPS. That is the best option as on date, which may be placed under the so many changes in the days to come. I hope that I have cleared some of your doubts in your mind. And whatever be the doubts, please put it in the comment section of this YouTube channel and also in the website which I am maintaining kayveeyes.blog.com, and I will clear your doubts. With this I am concluding. Thank you very much, comrade. Meet again.